I'm sad the Snyderverse is seemingly over. We lost Ben Affleck as Batman, we have no clue if they'll actually use Henry Cavill long term, and now all of the news surrounding Wonder Woman is sounding pretty negative. Of course, Wonder Woman 1984 was really bad, but people still held hope for the third title being closer to the first, but now it seems like there's more drama going on because The Rock allegedly jeopardized Cavill's future in the DCU by rushing his return in Black Adam, and now that we're finding out they have no plans for Black Adam 2, people are questioning what they're going to do with Cavill's Superman and if we will actually see him again. I have a bunch of things to show off, but before we get into the topic at hand, if you enjoy the content that I create, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Follow me on social media like Twitter or mine so that you can see when my content is posted. And of course, if you do really enjoy the videos and the live streams that I create, please consider becoming a Dark Titan via Patreon for just $1 a month, or support the channel via YouTube memberships. All of the links are in the description, and of course, I do really appreciate all of the support. Now, over the past few weeks, I've been talking a lot about Henry Cavill because of his departure from The Witcher for what seemingly was to go back to playing Superman. I mean, why else would he leave this show that he was sitting pretty on when he wasn't sure about his future in the DCEU. The only reason why we ever thought he would leave The Witcher was to go back to playing Superman. And then, of course, he showed up at the end of Black Adam, and they were really setting up a Black Adam versus Superman storyline, which was seemingly going to happen in BA2. But we know now they aren't really planning to do Black Adam 2. It sounds like they aren't really sure what direction they would go in and if they want to do it. Of course, there were rumors circulating that it was actually going to lose money, and that was a big reason behind that. But now we know that they actually did make money on this movie, over $100 million on top of what the budget was. So that still might not have been enough for them. But now we're hearing that this might have all been The Rock's fault because The Rock might have ruined stuff instead of fixing it. Dwayne Johnson jeopardized Henry Cavill's future in the DCU by rushing his return in his movie Black Adam. Now, of course, we all praised Dwayne Johnson for listening to consumers because we heard that it was his idea to bring Cavill back. He said that he really wanted Cavill back and he pushed for his return, which of course people were very excited for. I was very excited for initially, but now hearing that they had other plans for Cavill to return in the future and they rushed it for this movie, and now they're not even planning on doing a sequel, definitely has people upset. It says the drama surrounding the DCU is currently a hot topic on the internet. From cancellations of projects to reports of reboots, the James Gunn and Peter Safran-led company is going through a lot of media attention. Now, a new report suggests that Johnson might be the reason why the future of Cavill's Superman looks doubtful. According to The Hollywood Reporter, the ex-head of DC Films, Walter Hamada, also had plans to bring Cavill back, but differently, which of course they were going to carry on with. So Warner Bros. Has always been known for its controversial decisions, and it can't be denied that this has affected the popularity of DC in a great manner. But a recent report is hitting that former head Walter Hamada wanted to bring Cavill's Superman back in a movie based on Crisis on Infinite Earths, while Hamada wanted to give rise to the colossal event through several movies and cameos. Johnson couldn't wait so long. Now, I always say this, but actors have a lot of pull with movies, and sometimes that can be good and sometimes that can be bad. Sometimes actors really know what consumers want and they push for dialogue and specific scenes and changes to their characters, but they know it's going to go well. And then unfortunately, you have actors who think they know everything and then they end up ruining projects. And I feel like a lot of people right now are really blaming Dwayne Johnson for the pushes that he made with this film, and how now, even though we did get what we wanted, which was Cavill Superman back, we only got him for a very short cameo, and now we might have to wait years in order to see him in an actual movie again. Reportedly, Walter planned to introduce several superheroes and their versions from their alternate timelines and bring them together in a gigantic cinematic event, which honestly doesn't sound that surprising, seeing as the Flash movie was supposed to bring multiple new characters and versions of those characters into the DCU. So we figured that something like that was going to happen, like Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck as the Dark Knights. We would see Supergirl, so it seemed like they were going in that direction for sure. They just didn't do it quick enough, or maybe they just didn't know how to get to that point without relying only on the Flash movie. I mean, of course, that has faced a massive controversy over the past couple of years because it's been delayed several times, and they still have Ezra Miller as the lead, so we don't even know what they're going to do with that at this point. A lot of people still think they're going to cancel it. I personally don't think that they're going to. I think that they'll probably still go ahead with it, but there are just unfortunately a lot of questions. It's like they didn't have a clear direction, and now we're sitting with a lot of potential ideas, but nothing that's paid off yet. I do think that Johnson could be to blame for the rushing of Superman's return, but this also could be an excuse. Maybe the studio actually rushed it, and now they're blaming Johnson because he did publicly come out and say we should give the fans what they want, and now they don't know what the hell to do with Cavill. There's been reports that Dwayne and James Gunn have butted heads, so maybe he's just like, let's put the blame on Johnson because we probably won't use him again. James Gunn managing an entire movie universe is really questionable to begin with, though. He's a proven director, but not a proven manager of an entire company. So him leaning on an excuse like this seems like it could be true. We don't know anything for sure, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. And now we're hearing that because all of these projects have not worked, James Gunn is reportedly heading towards a complete reboot. Now, despite several sources citing that the future of the DCU looks quite debatable, it is repeatedly stated that the studio is most likely heading for a reboot, but not a recast. Following the reports of the cancellation of Wonder Woman 3 and Man of Steel 2, many fans thought that Gal and Henry might have lost their reign in the DCU, but the scenario will not likely be that. We obviously have a lot of questions as to what they're going to do with the DCU going forward. I really hope that Johnson didn't actually screw everything up behind the scenes, because it looked like he pushed for Henry Cavill to be in this movie because Henry Cavill's agent is actually Dwayne Johnson's wife. So, of course, if they all kind of had this big plan of let's go into this trying to force their hand and it worked, but that wasn't their plan and now we might not get Cavill back, it's ultimately not worth it. I would have rather have not seen Cavill in that cameo if in a year we got him in an actual role in a movie that wasn't just showing up and saying, hey, I'm still here and I can kick your ass, basically. There's a lot of questions that we have at this point. I still hope that they bring Cavill back, they bring Gal back, and they just really rethink their strategy going forward. I'm not that sad that Patty Jenkins is out and she's not doing Wonder Woman 3 because Wonder Woman 1984 was tragic. I mean, it was a disaster. I still hope that they can bring Gal's character and story in a good direction because she was great in the first movie. Even though the first movie had its problems and it was only good, I thought that her acting was great, and I think that overall, she's been pretty good in the DCU, but only time will tell, though right now there are a lot of rumors circulating, and it seems like Dwayne Johnson is to blame for potentially Cavill having trouble in the future of the DCU. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed it and found it important and informative, please make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you didn't, make sure to give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I will talk to you all again in the next video really soon.